Why dad mode activated? What's going on, guys? I just wanted to make this video. It's been a while in the making that I've wanted to film this video. I never really knew how to kind of explain my page and why I decided to do it. So I guess I'll just start. I'm 40 years old now, and honestly, like, I've always thought about being a creator, and I just never found something that really, really motivated me to get up and start doing it. And I think once I got to this age, and I have an 8-year-old son now, and I've had a litany of experiences with him and kind of living my life. And I think when you get to the age where you are, where I am now, which is 40, you kind of look back at life and you have a different look on things. Like, you have a certain wisdom that you carry with you that it's something I couldn't carry with me, or I couldn't like tell people maybe like 10, 15, even 5 years ago. You go through different things, you go through experiences. You grow up, you're a kid, you're a teenager, you're in your 20s, your 30s, and you kind of learn about yourself and you learn about the world. So basically, the reason why I made this channel was I didn't have the greatest father growing up. Now, he was around physically, but his emotional presence was not there. And honestly, that was the thing that motivated me the most to being a great dad. And honestly, that's what I want to give to other people. I want you guys to know that even if you go through tough times, if you go through adversities, you can still be a great father. But last night I was having a dream, and it was about my dad. He's going through some court battles, and he's not in my life anymore. If he is, it's very seldom. And there's a part of me that feels like I'm a bad son, but I think that just comes from the standpoint that, like, I feel like we always want our parents' approval, and like, we want that love, and we want them to be proud of us, and we want them to be there when we're kids. Like, we hold them up on this pedestal, and all we want more than anything is our parents' approval, and we want them to love us, and we want them to make us feel safe. Unfortunately, I didn't have that, and that's one of the things is the main focus of my book, is kind of going through that early life experience and kind of being vulnerable. And I feel like if I can be vulnerable, that it allows other men, other fathers, other dads to be vulnerable themselves. Because I think that there's great strength in being able to be honest and be vulnerable. I don't think it's a weakness. For a long time, I think that as men, that we felt like we have to be strong all the time, and we have to put on this image, and if we're not that image, then somehow we're failing as men, as fathers. But I think the greatest strength that we can give to our children is being able to be weak at some points. And I don't mean weakness from the standpoint of, like, it shouldn't be like all you do, but it's good for your kids to be able to see that there are vulnerabilities in you, so they know that it's okay for them to do the same. So basically, I've used my lack of having that positive male role model in my life, from a father standpoint. I use that as the motivation to be the dad I wanted to be. So now when I see my son and I see him going through adversity and tough times, I think of, what would I want that little boy inside of me? What would I have needed? And that's how I father. And that's how I do my dad life. And that's what motivated me to do my book, is that, like, I want you guys to know, like, it's not like things in my life are perfect. And I would never say that they are, but, like, I say, like, the greatest medicine I've had in my life is the joy and the happiness that has come with being able to see the fruits of my labor when it comes to seeing how happy my son is. Like, he's not pretending to be happy. He's not putting on a facade. He's genuinely happy. Like that was the thing that made me want to write my memoir and want to write about my book, because it's the journey getting there that is what pushes us. And the journey started pretty crappy. And honestly, I'm standing where a lot of the bad things happened to me. This is the area where it all happened. So it's like those full circle moments that like you can take what's happened to you and you can use it as a positive and you can change the world. Now my goal is to have it that my son never has to go through the trials or tribulations that I had to. And I think where we stand right now, like me and his mother, we have a great co-parenting relationship now. I think that we're giving him like the gift of having a solid foundation that he can grow upon. My book is about breaking generational chains. And a lot of things that I went through are horrible. But I think that those things are what made me who I am. It's what made me look at the world a little different. It's made me appreciate the good things in the world more than the bad. And honestly, that's my mission statement. Like that's what I want for kids. So as much as this channel is to, help dads become the best versions of themselves, which I hope that I can help you guys a little bit and give you some advice and kind of lead by example and let you guys see. But ultimately the goal is to give children a great parent, because that's what our kids deserve. Like if we can make sure that kids have a great life, that kids have a physically and emotionally present father, dad, which again, I try to make the clear distinction on my channel and in everything I do, that the term father and dad are two different things. They're not interchangeable. I believe a father is anybody that can reproduce. They're a donor. They're a sample of DNA. That's what a father is to me. I think being a dad is something completely different. A dad is a mindset, which is where the dad mode activated part comes in. Is like being a dad is a conscious decision. It's not just being. You have to engage with your kids. You have to play with your kids. You have to be vulnerable with your kids. Like that's what being a dad is. And I just talked about this on my podcast the other day. Is like one of the hardest things that I have right now is that like my son kind of prefers to be with his mother, but it's not because he doesn't want to be with me. And that's taken a little while to make sense to me. But what I mean by that is like, because I give my son everything he needs emotionally, he doesn't have this craving that he needs to have me. You know what I mean? So like he wants to be with me and we spend a lot of time together, but a lot of times he wants to go back to his mother's house. And that's hard for me emotionally, but like that's part of the way I care, If I can have him be a happy kid, that's what matters. And it's like that full circle moment, like last night I had this dream, and like the hard part for me still is that like I wish I had a dad. Like I had a father, but like I wish I had a dad. Like I wish I didn't have to learn all this on my own. You know, I talk about in my book, and I talk about a lot that like I just didn't have positive male role models growing up. I had one, my sibling's dad, and he was a great man, and he was like I called him uncle. But when he passed away, I was 23 years old. Like, you don't know who you are at 23. Like, and the hard part became is like when I finally did become a dad, like my son was born. Like I was honest with my dad. I was like, you were a crappy father. And that was tough for him to hear. But I was like, the only thing I care about now is that you give my son a good grandpa. And he failed at that. So now I have like this absentee part of it. And that's honestly, it's a struggle. And like there's times that I still need a dad. I struggle with that part. You know, I'm glad I can build a new cycle. I can build a new link in the chain. But honestly, sometimes I still need it, and I'm hoping that like I say, like when I was going through the family court stuff, there wasn't any, there wasn't the type of videos I needed as a dad. Um, you know, this niche, this topic is very taboo, and it's like usually when it comes to being a single dad, the most important thing that people talk about is how to fight your family court battle. But there's not much to tell you how to be the dad, like how to really enjoy the times that you have with your child, because the family court battle is only part of that journey. Like, I think the one thing I'm grateful for is that throughout the family court battle, I was able to emotionally separate the two, or at least on the surface level, I was able to be the dad I needed to be without making him feel that something was off. And that's not easy. Like, being able to put that away and put it down is hard. But like, now that I'm out of it, like, I'm grateful for that, because my son's 8 now. The family court journey started when he was 4, and it concluded when he was 6. So because a lot of that happened before his cognitive memory really kicked in, he doesn't really have knowledge any of that stuff happened. And if you can get through that part of it and you can keep that possible, like, do it. Like, your kids should never feel like they're the rope in tug of war. Like, it's already hard enough as it is. Like, you just got to find ways, which, if you guys have questions or if you want ideas of how to do that, please drop a comment down below and let me know. But do things that, like, really allow your connection to build. Like, I think the one biggest thing I had going for me when I was doing all this was, like, I did cheap things. Like, we went to the playgrounds, we went to the beach. Like, we did stuff that didn't cost a lot of money, so we were able to fully engage in those moments. And like, stuff like that means more to them than you understand. Like, you think you have to have all this money, you think you have to take on lavish trips, you think you got to pay these lavish toys, but in reality, none of that stuff really matters. You know, when I look back on my own life, like, I don't remember getting a certain video game, or, like, yes, there's certain toys I remember because I had so few of them, but like, having that physical artifact didn't make my life better. You know what made my life worse is looking back, knowing I didn't have a present father. That's what I want to give to you guys, is letting you know, like, how you can break generational chains. You can be a great dad. And my goal is to help you guys. Like, I don't know what this journey is going to be for me. Like, I know I'm going to be a good dad, like, and I have to carry, like, a lot of things that I've went through. And, you know, I'll never be completely healed of all that stuff. You know, it's a journey every single day. You know, I have problems with dating. Like, I find it hard to put myself out there emotionally. And even in my career, like, I've always carried a imposter syndrome when it comes to things. And in reality, the only thing I've ever really done that, like, felt legitimate, like, that I don't question myself on, is being a dad. which is kind of ironic. Like, when I'm with my son, I feel in the zone and nothing else in the world matters. But it's like anything else I do, even like in the military, sometimes I feel like I don't belong. But like, that's what I want you guys to know, is like, you don't have to be perfect to be a great dad. And that's why I created Dad Mode Activated. That's why I make these videos. That's why I make the dad joke videos, because hopefully this journey can be difficult, and I want to have moments of levity where I can show you guys that you can go through a tough time and you can still have a positive outlook on where life can go. You know, being a dad is not easy. It takes considerable effort. It's exhausting. It's emotionally draining. But in the moments where you get to see, when you get to see the outcome of what you've given to your kids, there's no replacing that. Like I said, after my son's birthday this year, when he turned 8 years old, we went kayaking. We went out to the lake, we rented a kayak, and we rode around the lake. When I was a kid, things like that weren't possible. Like, we didn't do things like that unless somebody gave us charity, unless somebody like invited us somewhere, which happened few and far between. Like, things like that didn't happen. So, like, when I look at my son's eyes and I see how happy he is, and I realize that I'm an integral part of why that occurred, it's super motivating. And that's like what I want to share with you guys, is like, in the moments you're gonna feel like you're failing, and that's normal. But like, you need to really find the time to celebrate when things go well and you see those monumental moments, and allow those moments to be the things that carry you through the hard times, because there are hard times, but I guarantee you can get through them. You know, part of my journey was pretty low and pretty dark, and I thought about doing things that would seriously affect other people's lives. And I'm grateful every single moment that I didn't let those thoughts win. And I'm here today, and I would consider myself a great dad, and I want to be able to give that wisdom and that knowledge to you guys, and be able to pass that on and give you guys real world examples, and hopefully let you know that you don't have to be a superstar, you don't have to be an athlete, you don't have to be like a celebrity to be a great dad and be an influence and be an inspiration to your kids. And I want you guys to be the best versions of yourselves. So these are the kind of videos that really give me passion, really give me going, and like why I decided to create Dad Mode Activated. Yes, there's a lot where I talk about my military experience, and I want to pass on that knowledge too, because I think it's important to be able to share the things that we go through so that we can help the next man up. Like, my goal is always to reach out my hand and be able to pull somebody up that needs it. So if you found this to be interesting, if you liked what I had to talk about, if you want to be Dad Mode Activated, please consider subscribing to my channel. Please let me know if you like these kind of videos, if you have ideas, that's topics you want me to discuss, whether it be having a little kid, toddler, young kid, going through school age, going through co-parenting, going through separation and child custody. I want to be able to help you guys in all these things. I want you guys to be the best versions of yourself so that your kids get the best version of you. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you like this, again, please like, please share, please subscribe. More videos coming soon, live streams coming as well, and you can check out my dad jokes. I hope you guys have a blessed day.